Welcome to Notable Approvals. I'm attorney Amanda Shaffer. Before I get to our case today, quick reminder that tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be having episode 9 of Are You Smarter Than a Naturalized Citizen? We will have the Battle of the Franciscos. Two attorneys, both named Francisco, will battle it out to see who can pass the naturalization test first. I encourage you all to watch. You can find the event page on our Facebook page. In YouTube, there should be the link too, as well as in Instagram. So set your reminders, don't miss out. Second thing, make sure to like us and follow us on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram so that you do not miss any of our other lives. Hi, Mohammed. Thanks for joining us. So today's case, and last thing, if you found this helpful or you think someone who you know will find this video helpful, please make sure you share it. So today's case is about naturalization, just like our game show tonight. This is for a client who is a native of China and was a citizen of China. Now she is a U.S. citizen. She first obtained her green card in 2014 based on marriage to a U.S. citizen. And she came to us in 2018 in order to file for her naturalization. It was not, I think it wasn't the full 5 years. So it was still based on being married and married to a U.S. citizen and still living with them. So when we applied the first time around, we had to make sure to include the marriage certificate and the husband's divorce from his prior marriage. We always have the clients bring that to the interview anyway, but when it's based on the 5 years of being a permanent resident, which isn't connected to marriage or no longer needs to be, we don't always send the marriage certificate and divorce with the initial application, but we still have them bring the original to the interview. So we applied, like I said, in 2018 for this client. We then got her biometrics notice, and she completely missed the appointment. We told her about it. Whenever we file these things, unless you send everything to us, like there's a box to check, where that would mean we get duplicates of everything. We get a copy of like the receipt, the biometrics, the approval, and so does the client. So we had told her about it, and she was unable to attend. But and you can reschedule the biometrics, but you have to pretty much get the biometrics notice, reschedule it, send in the request, reschedule right away, because you do run a risk if they don't get your request to reschedule you run the risk that they will just deny it. So she did try to go to her biometrics appointment, but it was like months later and it was just too late. So they did deny it for her missing it. But then we did refile in 2019, like at the end of 2019. Of course, that's when the pandemic was kind of kicking up. So she was originally scheduled to have her interview in April of 2020. That was like literally everything was shut down. She couldn't go to it. They did reschedule it, just like everyone else in that time period. So she then went in September. And although everything went well in terms of the interview, she's eligible, had no good moral character, no other issues. If you're not unaware, when you go to the naturalization, when you're becoming a citizen, with some exceptions, like someone who is over a certain age and been a permanent resident for a certain number of years, you have to take the English test. So you have to be able to read, write, and speak in English. You can have an interpreter for the interview. You have to be able to, they're going to read you like 3 sentences. You have to write them out, and then they're going to have you read 3 sentences all in English. There's also the civics test, which is what our game show tonight is about. At the actual naturalization interview, you have to get 6 out of 10 questions correct. And it's all about, the U.S. history, the government, geography, things like that. So if you're interested in what the naturalization test is like, the civics test, tune in tonight at 9 p.m. for our game show, where I actually asked the exact questions that are asked at the naturalization interview. So she did fine on the civics test, but she failed the English test. The good news is that she didn't have to apply for a third time, because if you fail the English test, or you fail the civics test, you get one more try. They will reschedule you for another interview, and if you don't pass it that time, then you got to reapply in the future. But if you're able to pass it, then you become a U.S. citizen. So fortunately, the second time around for this client, everything went as planned. She studied hard, and she was able to pass it without an issue, and became a U.S. citizen earlier this year. So we're very happy for her and her husband and their whole family that they even, like, this would have been something that should have taken less than a year, but when you miss interviews, or or things don't go as planned at interviews, it definitely will make things more drawn out and more delayed. But at the end of the day, what's important is she now is a U.S. citizen. So that is all today for notable approvals. Again, make sure you tune in tonight for Are You Smarter Than a Naturalized Citizen at 9 p.m. live on Facebook. Hi, Ibrahim. Thank you for joining us on Facebook, YouTube, and on Instagram. We'll be having episode 9, the Battle of the Franciscos. See who can answer 10 questions from the naturalization test first. It's a lot of fun. I encourage you all to join, especially if you're right now studying for your naturalization test. Get an idea of what to expect on that. Congratulations, Ibrahim. He had something approved, he's telling me. If you would like to talk about it, Ibrahim, please contact me privately. If you need, I will put in the chat right now my email and my phone number, so you can. This is the public chat, because I don't want to talk about your case here. But happy to help you with your next step. If that's why you're telling me, I'm all here for you. All right, that is all. Have a great day. We'll see you tonight, hopefully.